Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for May 2nd, 25. We have several developing stories to bring you up to date on. Firstly, in Ukraine, the situation remains volatile with reports of heightened tensions between Moscow and Kiev. Despite diplomatic efforts, a ceasefire appears elusive. UU's envoy, Steve Witkoff, has been conducting solo talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin, but his unconventional approach has raised concerns within the Trump administration. In related news, a significant development in U.S.-Ukraine relations is the potential $50 million arms sale to Ukraine, which includes a range of military equipment and services. This move is seen as a positive step towards increasing U.S. support for Ukraine's defense efforts, although it requires congressional approval. Meanwhile, in Washington, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is set to leave his position amid the Signalgate scandal, involving a group chat on the Signal app where national security officials shared sensitive information. President Trump has nominated Waltz as the next United States ambassador to the United Nations, a move that has raised questions about Waltz's suitability for the role given his involvement in the scandal. These stories are ongoing, and we will provide updates as more information becomes available. For now, that's all for this morning's podcast. Thank you for tuning in to AI Daily Press. We'll be back with more news and analysis throughout the day. Now, for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, in Australia, concerns are rising about the surge in million-dollar postcodes across Perth, with a record number of suburbs now exceeding a median house price of $1 million. This trend is driven by demand spilling over from more expensive areas. But it raises important questions about affordability and accessibility for first-home buyers and those on lower incomes. Meanwhile, in Venezuela, the country's economic crisis deepens as U.S. sanctions take their toll on oil exports. With China becoming the largest buyer of Venezuelan oil, Beijing's support will be crucial in determining Venezuela's economic future. However, it remains uncertain whether China will continue to defy U.S. sanctions. Lastly, we look at the ongoing conflict in Syria, where a recent escalation of violence has raised concerns about the humanitarian situation and the potential for further destabilization in the region. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges facing our world today, from economic uncertainty to geopolitical tensions. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. That's all for now. And thank you for joining me on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we looked at Microsoft's impressive earnings report, which saw the company surpass expectations with a significant increase in cloud computing revenue. This success story is a testament to the growing demand for cloud services and Microsoft's strategic position in this market. Secondly, we examined the developments in the U.S.-China trade talks, where Japan's substantial holdings of U.S. Treasury securities have become a potential card in trade negotiation. Meanwhile, Asian stocks edged up, and U.S. equity index futures erased losses following news that China is evaluating possible trade talks with the United States. Lastly, we explored the surprising trend in India's equity market, where domestic investors have emerged as the driving force behind growth, while foreign portfolio investors adopt a more cautious approach. Domestic mutual funds have been steadily increasing their investments in Indian equities, attributed to growing confidence in the country's economic prospects. These stories highlight the complex and interconnected nature of global markets, trade relationships, and strategic decisions made by nations and corporations. At AI Daily Press, we're committed to providing you with insightful analysis and up-to-date information to help you navigate these markets. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this morning podcast. Until next time, Stay informed. Now, for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we've got an update on NASA's Artemis program, which aims to return humans to the lunar surface by 2024. Our article highlights the challenges and opportunities associated with this ambitious mission. Next, we're talking about the Soviet-era spacecraft Cosmos 482, which is expected to re-enter Earth's atmosphere next week, leaving scientists wondering where it will land. This story serves as a reminder of our responsibility to be mindful of space debris and the potential risks associated with uncontrolled re-entries. Lastly, we're exploring the exciting Sphere-X mission, which aims to map the entire sky in infrared light, uncovering new insights into the formation of galaxies and the distribution of matter. With its cutting-edge spectrographic capabilities, this mission has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of the universe. These stories showcase humanity's boundless curiosity and ingenuity when it comes to exploring space. As we continue to push the boundaries of discovery, we're reminded that there's still so much to uncover, and that the universe is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. That's all for today's summary. Tune in to our full episodes for more in-depth analysis and expert insights on these and other fascinating topics. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the wonders of space and science. Until next time, keep looking up at the stars. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewall.
Thank you, Carl. Today, we're summarizing the latest news in college football. First off, Michigan's athletic department has made some changes, but that story isn't here, so let's move on to what we do have. Clemson Tigers coach Dabo Swinney has been ranked as the top coach in the Atlantic Coast Conference by USA Today Sports. This comes as no surprise, given his impressive tenure at Clemson, which includes 2 national championships and 9 conference titles. In other news, the University of Georgia is on a roll, with their football program building momentum under Coach Kirby Smart. The Bulldogs are attracting top talent, including 4-star recruit Zach Fort, and are looking strong for the upcoming season. And finally, Michigan isn't the only school dealing with changes. Clemson basketball star Ian Schieffelin is potentially joining the football team, although these reports are still unconfirmed. We'll have more in-depth analysis of these stories and others throughout the day on our podcast. For now, that's all for this morning's summary. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we explored a court case in which a resident was fined for excessive noise pollution from his pet rooster in a rural area. The conviction emphasizes the importance of balancing individual freedoms with community needs and respecting neighbors' right to peace and quiet. Next, we delved into the story of Mark Newbury, who traded city life for a tranquil pace in the breathtaking North York moors. His journey highlights the allure of wide open spaces, fresh air, and a sense of community, but also the challenges that come with it. Lastly, we touched on a story about the music industry, where a court case involving noise pollution was mentioned, but the main focus was on Mark's adventure in the North York moors. These stories remind us that even in rural areas, noise pollution can have a significant impact on people's quality of life, and that sometimes unconventional choices can lead to extraordinary experiences. We're left with a sense of wonder and awe at the beauty of these special places, and the resilience of those who call them home. That's all for today's summary. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. Until next time, I'm Charles, wishing you a day filled with the sweet sounds of nature and the beauty of the world around us. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First up, music legends Neil Young and Taylor Swift are making waves on the charts. Their devoted fans are snapping up their music like it's going out of style. Next, we're celebrating the timeless music of Paul Simon. His classic albums, including Graceland, are back on the charts, and we couldn't be more thrilled. And finally, we're talking about the power of great music to stand the test of time. Eminem and Rihanna's old hits are bouncing back onto the charts like they're brand new. These iconic songs have become a part of our cultural fabric, and they're still resonating with listeners today. So, what does it all mean? It means that the music industry is evolving, changing, but still thriving. And with artists like these legends continuing to produce great music, we're in good hands. That's my 2 cents on the state of the music industry, folks. Now, for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we have an update on a critically endangered species. Researchers in British Columbia have made a groundbreaking discovery that could help combat sea star wasting disease, which has been plaguing sea stars for over a decade. They found a refuge population of sunflower sea stars thriving in the frigid waters of the fjords, suggesting that cooler temperatures may provide protection from the disease. Next, we're looking at the decline of bird populations across North America. A recent study has used fine-scale spatial resolution to identify areas where birds are declining and increasing, highlighting pockets of stability in bird populations, such as the Appalachians and Western Mountains. This research emphasizes the need for targeted conservation efforts and further data collection. Lastly, we're following a story from the world of wildlife conservation, where a rare species of sea star has been found to be thriving in the cooler waters of the fjords. This discovery could hold the key to understanding and combating sea star wasting disease, which has had a devastating impact on marine ecosystems. These stories highlight the importance of preserving our planet's incredible biodiversity and the need for continued research and conservation efforts. Tune in to our full episodes for more in-depth coverage of these stories and others from the world of science and conservation. Thanks for joining us on the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.